I didn't even plan to do this video, folks. I was doing research for 2 other videos that I'm going to publish after this video. And this app that I use, it's not even an app, it's a subscription. I was using that, doing some research, and this question came up. The majority of people who view my videos are wondering about trusting politicians. I kind of like overlooked it, like that can't be possible, because if you are a Black American with long history, long, thick, strong roots in this country, there's no way possible that you will be asking that question in sincerity. It has to be a joke at this point, because we're in 2026. We are still seeing politicians, whether they are Black Americans, aka FBA, ADOS, indigenous, and non-Black American politicians, do absolutely ikanua ion neat. I'll be back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Newcomers, welcome. Let's jump into this. So, like I said, a question came up within the subscription, this program I have, that said many people who watch the video are have questions about trusting politicians. As I said, initially I brushed it off like, no they don't. And then I thought about it. Ooh, maybe some still do. And I said, no politician, I can't say no, but the majority of politicians, whether they are Black Americans or not, they've done nits for us. Nothing for us. It's like at this point in 2026, we're going to be going into 27 like in 2 seconds. If you still have hope that these politicians, both parties, are your friend, it's like having someone you called a friend for like 10, 15, 20 years. You've seen the signs throughout the years, and not only you have seen the signs, but people have brought things to your attention. Associates, co-workers, family members, the dog. Every time they came around, your dog just like didn't want to have nothing to do with them. You still overlooked it. Till one day you was like, this is not my friend. That's how it is. And then some of you guys never get it. Some of you guys are still friends with people that you have been told for 30, 40 years, this person you call your friend hates you. You still friends with them. I couldn't deal with a person like you. And then I know it's like, yeah, that's your life. That's what you choose to do. But if we're friends or associates and somehow you keep bringing up this person and the latest thing they have done to you, eventually I'm gonna get tired of it, and I'm just gonna be like, no. That's how it irritates me. It irritates me, and sometimes I'm not that kind of person that'll just let it roll off like, girl, that's your life, live the way you want to live. No, sometimes it just irritates that you can be this desperate, insecure. Okay, let's get into this content, folks. They also said that my audience is not politically apathetic. They're politically disillusioned and actively redefining loyalty. It said, so let's look into delusion. The key aspects of being delusion means loss of faith, a profound, frequently negative shift in perspective after a belief or ideal is broken. Discovery of reality. The feeling arises when the often harsh reality contradicts previous idealistic expectations. Context used often regarding work, political, or personal relationships, such as when a devoted employee becomes disillusioned with their unethical company. In this case, unethical politicians. Emotional state, commonly associated with feeling weary, cynical, or empty, rather than just sad. And see, they want to brush it off by saying that Black Americans are apathetic. I didn't look up apathetic pertaining to politics, so let me look it up right now. Okay, apathetic is showing or feeling no interest, enthusiasm, or concern. So I can honestly say there are some Black Americans who feel that way, but I believe it's some just feel disillusioned, and it's a big difference. Disillusion means, reality check. Hello, like, you want to go to the gas station, but you realize all you have is $5. $5 not gonna get you much. So it's not even being, angry or anything. It's like it's factual. So that's how it feels. It's like disillusion and apathetic are two different things. Disillusion is reality. It's just what it is. Apathetic is you really don't care. You really don't give a F. And there are some Black Americans who feel that way. Like they really don't care. Like, oh well. Let's get into this. Okay. You've heard the headlines. Black voter turnout is falling. Like with the last Jasmine Crockett camp. What was not? They were voting. Her and this man were running for the same position, and she lost, and they tallied. Well, they came out with data saying that a lot of Black folks did not participate in voting, and I don't know if these people are taking this serious or not. That is what is really annoying about it. I can say this, Black Americans, a lot of it is your fault, because even though you realize that these people were playing you like a broken fiddle, you still kept showing up to the party. So they spiked your drink, they put Lord knows what in your food, and you still ate the food, you still drank the drink. So they figured they could treat you any kind of way, you still gonna show up. And so now that you're standing on business 10 toes down, they're like, yeah, okay, they'll come around. That's the mentality until they just run full blast into a wall going 200 miles an hour. I don't know what's going to happen for them to really realize that you're done, but it's going to happen sooner than later. So I heard that she was blaming, who was she blaming? The Republicans. I see that the Democratic Party, both parties really, they like to blame everybody but themselves. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, she didn't take an accountability that you are a Democratic politician. And I don't know if she's Black American. I've heard that her father is Haitian. I don't know. But you are in your position hardcore advocating for immigration rights over American citizens. So I guess that they really don't take that into consideration, that's an issue. You are an American politician advocating hardcore for immigrants and the illegals. They don't, I guess it's not processing. God, this is just a strange country, isn't it? And then when you address it or say something about it, they're saying you're xenophobic. Okay, so what's the word for saying another word for saying they're anti-American? Let's go on. You heard the headlines. I'm going to repeat it again. Black voter turnout is falling. Political analysts immediately jump to one word, apathy. But what if that's the wrong word? What if it's not apathy, but agency? What if this isn't a sign of surrender, but a declaration of war on a political system that has taken black loyalty for granted for decades? This is the great black political exodus. And it's not about people who've stopped caring, because we do care. We do. But you're just not going to play with us. Okay. It's about people who have started demanding more. We've always demanded more, and we're going to continue. We're not immigrants coming to this country just glad that we're making $2 an hour. No, we're not immigrants. Let's go on. For generations, the script was simple. Black America votes for Democratic Party, period. It's been one of the most reliable, most loyal voting blocks in American history. So sad, though. In 2020, that loyalty was on full display when 92% of black voters cast their ballot for the Democratic candidate. That support was decisive. It was the foundation upon which victory was built. You know how upset I was? I was so upset. And then I saw videos on YouTube of majority of people. It wasn't even just one black, it wasn't even just one ethnic group in the street dancing because Biden won. Kid you not, 3 to 6 months after that election, nobody was dancing anymore. Yeah, let's go on. But loyalty is a two-way street. And for many, the other side of that street has felt empty for a long, long time. The thank you for that loyalty hasn't been transformative policy. It's been neglect. And for those who say, well, how did you feel when Trump got voted? Don't worry about all that. Don't worry about all that. I told you I'm not Republican and I'm not Democrat, but I am and was for closed borders. So that's all you need to know. Let's go on. There's a lot of things Trump do that makes me wish, or would like to, not even wish, would like to schedule an appointment and be right in his face around his whole cabinet. And I don't give a F who they are. And be like, what are you doing? What's the end game plan? What is the end game plan? Because I saw a video, was it a short on TikTok? Somebody was playing a short saying that Trump said Democrats want to invest in. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try to find the short, the video, and I'm going to put it in this video. But basically it was Trump saying Democrats want to invest in such and such and such. I want to invest in a black community.
Democrats want to invest in green global projects. I want to invest in black American communities.
From either side, your words are about as worthless and useless as a wet piece of tissue. It means nothing. Let's go on. Let's talk about the numbers that matter more than polls. Let's talk about wealth. According to the Federal Reserve's 2022 data, the median black household has a net worth of around $44,900. For the median white household, it is $285,000. Now that right there should be a crime. Oh, let's go on. That isn't a gap, it's a canyon. It's the result of centuries of systemic disadvantage. But it's a canyon that modern policies have failed to bridge. While wealth for the typical black family has grown in recent years, the dollar for dollar gap with white families has only gotten wider. So when the wealth in black Americans' household increase, the white family households increase too. Let's talk about jobs. In February of 26, the black unemployment rate was 7.7%, more than double the 3.7 rate for white Americans. This isn't some new trend. It's a persistent, painful reality that black America is often the first to enter a recession and the last to leave. As the National Urban League has pointed out, while economists debate a national recession, black America is already in one. Now, some will point to political representation. And yes, we've seen progress. We've had a black president and a black vice president. We have this delineation happening. I'm always going to make a correction. There was no black president. There was no black vice president. And for those of you guys who get irritated or annoyed when it's said, it's the facts. Obama was not black American. Harris was not black American, or is not black American. They don't have strong roots in this country. They do not have a lineage in this country. Their lineage is outside of this country. Let's face the facts. Let's not color the lines when it comes to someone else. And how many of you guys would say factually that having a melanated president and a melanated vice president helped our community? Specifically helped our community. Let's go on. These are milestones, but while black Americans make up about 14 to 15% of the population, which I'm going to keep telling you is a lie, we make up more than that. They've been playing a psychological mind effing game with us for hundreds of years. Let's go on. They had only about 12% of the seats in Congress, so there's still the disparity. And when you look at the people in Congress, it looked like a white pool, a white ocean. Oh, let's go on. And the question echoing in barbershops, church basements, and at kitchen tables is this: what has that representation fundamentally changed for the majority of us? If we have a seat at a table, why does it feel like only crumbs fall our way? The lived experience for millions is that despite decades of unwavering political support, the needle on economic justice, on home ownership, on the wealth gap has barely moved. This frustration is compounded by political maneuvers that feel like a direct assault on our power. After the massive turnout of 2020, states across the country enacted new voting restrictions and gerrymandered districts, diluting the power of the very vote that was just so celebrated. It sends a clear, cynical message. We want your vote, but we don't want your power. And here's the thing. When Biden was in office, I'm just pointing out facts, folks. When Biden was in office, you started hearing the gerrymandering. You started hearing about the gerrymandering, the redistricting, and what they did in Minnesota. Not Minnesota. God, what is that? Mississippi. What they were doing in Mississippi. You started hearing that when Biden in office, and I heard people talking about it, but I didn't feel the uproar. Okay, let's go on. And then I also saw a video. It comes from a credible channel. I didn't verify it myself, but like I said, the channel was very credible. They were saying that what's her name? Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, gave Asians $1 million in housing. It was housing stability, something like that, and gave FBA nothing. I'm so tired of Karen Bass. I called her office last year sometime, and I whoever answered the phone that worked for her, I told them how I felt about her. I haven't called again because I'm so tired of this woman. And every black American, especially if you of course you live in California, Los Angeles, and you voted for that woman, you voted for her, you actually thought she was gonna help. Did you really think she was gonna help, or you were just happy because she looked like you? This woman celebrates her Hispanic heritage. What, her grandfather was Hispanic? She don't give a F about you. And hasn't she shown that? Just like when they first started doing the what was it? Deportation. And they came up, her and the city council came up with the idea and planned to give immigrants or illegals who didn't want to go to work because they were scared of getting deported, giving them like $200. She got her ass up on the news and said, yeah, we're going to give them that, because they're scared to go to work. This is the woman y'all voted for. I didn't vote for her ass. You couldn't have paid me to vote for her. Let's go on. So when you see reports that black voter turnout is declining from its recent peaks, it's a fundamental mistake to call it apathy. It's not laziness. It is leverage. It's a conscious, strategic withdrawal of consent. It's a silent protest that's getting louder with every election. This is the strategic no. It's the rational decision made by a voter who looks at their ballot and sees no one speaking directly to their pain or their aspirations. For decades, the choice has been framed as the lesser of two evils. But after a lifetime of choosing the lesser evil, many are starting to ask, what if the evil is the choice itself? What if the real power isn't in choosing between two inadequate options, but in rejecting them both until a better one emerges? That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that we need to vet our own people. We need to vet our own people. We need to even start our own political party. And I know, I noticed that when I respond to comments saying that it's kind of quiet, I'm like, please don't be that type of person that just talks about it and you don't be about it. Because I'm not like that. But what I have said, and I'm not one of them people that talk about it and don't be about it. And I have said in countless videos that I'm not going to be a crusader. I'm not going to go out there fighting for the good of all of us and everybody, and ain't nobody showing up. It's not going to happen. And then when victory happens, because it does, because I fight from victory. And I can do a video talking about all the people and things I fought, and God had my back. This is especially true for a new generation. Studies show young black adults have lower odds of voting than their white peers, not because they're uninformed, but because they've come of age in an era of broken promises. Their skepticism is earned. They see a political landscape where their community's loyalty is assumed and their culture is mimicked for votes, but their core needs are put on the back burner. Look at the data from the 2024 election. While black voters remain overwhelmingly Democratic, with around 83% supporting the party's ticket, Donald Trump's support nearly doubled from 8% in 2020 to 15%. The shift was even more pronounced among black men, with some polls showing over 20% and one even as high as 30% casting a ballot for the Republican candidate. And I saw that go down. I saw how the Democratic Party flipped that around, like black men just don't like or support black women. First of all, that annoyed me. I see how Democrats like to play the race card. They do. When something doesn't go their way, they play the race card better than 3. You know damn well why black men did not vote for that woman, especially if you live in Oakland. She prosecuted him harshly. There was an attorney who said that they personally witnessed how she went after black men, black women, and would give white defendants a slap on the wrist. So the people in Northern California saw how she operated, and they was not going to get behind her. Okay, let's go on. And one even as high as 30% casting a ballot for the Republican candidate. Let's be clear, this does not signal a mass conversion to the Republican Party, but it does signal a massive crack in the Democratic foundation. It shows a willingness to look elsewhere, to protect, or to simply stay at home. Pew Research found that the shift wasn't just voters switching sides, but a change in who decided to show up and who decided to sit out. That is the strategic no in action. The political class is confusing silence for satisfaction. They are misinterpreting exhaustion from contentment. The truth is that silence is the sound of a contract being torn up. It's the collective voice of people tired of being told to wait, tired of being thanked for saving democracy only to watch their own communities continue to struggle. This isn't apathy, it is a reckoning. This exodus, this strategic disengagement is fundamentally reshaping American politics. For the Democratic Party, it's an existential crisis. Their path to victory relies on high black voter turnout. They can no longer run the old playbook of showing up in black churches a month before an election, promising the world and delivering little. The days of the monolithic guaranteed black vote are over. A party that can't count on 90+% of the black vote is a party that has to change its entire approach. It means they must compete for the vote. It means tangible policies, not just platitudes. It means investing in black communities, not just visiting them. It means addressing the gap wealth with the same urgency as foreign policy. The consequences are already clear. The narrowing margins and swing votes, the frantic last-minute appeals, these are the symptoms of a party that has lost touch with its most loyal supporters. They never were in touch, if you ask me. They are learning the hard way that you cannot take a foundational part of your coalition for granted and expect it to be there indefinitely. The Republican Party, it presents a narrow but significant opportunity not to win the majority of the black vote that remains highly unlikely, but to peel off just enough to matter. That 15% who voted for Trump in 24 is a warning shot. If you can successfully argue that Democrats have failed on their economic promises, they can attract more of the politically homeless, those who feel abandoned by the left and are willing to give the right a transactional look. This dynamic turns black voters from a captured constituency into a powerful swing demographic that holds the balance of power. This new reality forces both sides to answer a critical question. What have you done for us lately? Not what have you said, not what have you promised. What have you actually delivered? The power of the black vote is no longer in its predictability, but in its potential volatility. It's in the threat of staying home. It's in the willingness to entertain an alternative. The entire calculus of American elections changes when black voters prioritize their own interests over party loyalty. In other words, black Americans, you're going to have to stand 10 toes down. You are going to have to make strong, hardcore demands that we are not going to shift from. And if it's not put in writing, if they don't come out and say it in public with their whole chest, no, we're not giving them a chance. Because other groups come in and negotiate their votes. They do it all the time. We're the only ones that say, okay, well, we're going to vote Democrat again. And you don't get not a damn thing in return. How about this? Since y'all like giving you did like giving your vote away for free. How about go to work for a month for free? Go in there and tell your boss, hey, it's okay, boss. You don't have to pay me for a whole month. Because that is what you're doing with the Democratic Party. And that is what you're doing with the Republican Party. You don't ask for tangibles. You just give them your vote. Oh, let's go on. So let's call it what it is. The great black political exodus is not an end. It's a beginning. It's the start of a new era of black political power, one that is independent, discerning, and transactional. Votes are transactionals, and anyone tell you it's not, they are a damn liar, and I would not listen to them for nothing in the world. Every other group in this country have gotten the memo that your vote is transactional. If you guys do this, we will do this. They negotiate all the time. How you think these Hispanics got the policies they've gotten for themselves, especially when it's pertaining to illegal immigrants? How you think they got those policies? It was transactional. We're going to get and stand behind your party, your campaign, if you do this for us. We're the only one. Oh, my God. Let's go on. It's a powerful message being sent from the young activists who refuse to vote for the lesser of two evils to the elder who has seen too many promises broken. The era of blind loyalty is dead. The political party that fails to understand this will find itself on the wrong side of history. This isn't the end of black political power. It is the beginning of its evolution. It's a clear message sent from every corner of the country. The days of the guaranteed vote are over. The era of the earned vote has begun. I mean, the way you guys kept showing up supporting the Democratic Party and they gave you nothing. Some of you guys don't even live your personal lives like that. You don't even conduct business like that. If you're in a partnership, a business partnership with someone who was not delivering what they said they were delivering, who was not coming through so far as business wise, you were in that partnership. You wouldn't keep going year in, year out. It was not beneficial for you or your business. So why did you guys keep hanging on to the Democratic Party? Even, like I said, a personal relationship. Some of you guys don't even give a person a second chance. And you out. What? You did what? Oh, I'm done. Well, come down. Can you give me a chance? No, I don't believe in chances. But you kept giving Democrats chances over and over again. There was something I was going to say. I was going to give a message, especially to people, FBA and melanated immigrants who keep coming for my people and keep trying to tell them that what we see and what we have witnessed so far as politics is concerned is not actually what we see, is something different, and want to come in and shame us or shame black Americans for not continuing to support a party who literally put their butt in black Americans' faces. I was going to say something, but I don't feel to say it. I don't think it's time to say it. But what I will say, your time for doing manipulation, the shame, the two-facedness, the betrayal has come to an end. And a lot of people going to be reaping what they have sown. That's about all I'm going to say. And it's going to be on a national, international level. Okay, folks, I'm tired. It's getting late. And I'm about to shut up the shop. And again, thank you again for your support, folks. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.